I affirm what it is. I stay on purpose. I know what it is that I would like to see manifested. And then I retreat in peace. And I'm detached from the outcome. And you've got to be willing to detach from the outcome. And you might say to yourself, yes, but what if it doesn't work out? Which is the ego immediately asking that question. Yes, but what if it doesn't work out? You have to be willing to allow it not to work out. Because not having it work out just means it's not on your time schedule. And that means you no longer have patience. You're insisting, you're pulling on the shoots. You want that tomato now. You don't get tomatoes in May in Michigan. You've got to wait till August. And if you don't like it, then send to Peru and you can have them. And so what you do is you let go of your desire to have tomatoes show up in May, and you wait till June or July or August. And if you absolutely have to have tomatoes, you just go to Peru. And they'll bring them to you, or however that works. And you let go. And so you have this knowing, and I have this knowing. And when it's not working, I don't say to myself, okay, this is proof that this program is not authentic, and this is proof that what you're talking about isn't, and so and so. Great things have no fear of time. When you have the knowing, you have infinite patience, you get immediate results. The immediate result is you're free. You're at peace. And that's what the whole thing is about. That's all the higher self wants, is for you to be at peace. You get to be at peace, and you got everything you need in life. Every moment in your life that you're at peace, you're enlightened. So you have a knowing, and now it doesn't show up, and the contract doesn't work out, or they say no instead of yes. But you're at peace. You say, if it's not happening now, I'm still at peace. It'll happen. I know it will. And you go back to the principles. You practice unconditional love. You don't demand. You don't insist. And then you start seeing it show up in a different way. You thought it was supposed to be over here. I got my PhD in 1970. That year, I did a job interview. That was an opening that a friend of mine said, just do this job interview. It's great. It's for the vice president of a community college. And I said, all right. It was like triple what I was making at that time. But what I was doing at that time was I was teaching, and I was doing some great research projects. I was teaching at a university, which I loved, being there in that environment. I had a practice, which was terrific, a counseling practice. But this idea of being the vice president, I was 30 years old, of a college, and having all of the things that go with a vice, it was just too appealing to my ego. And I went in and I did the interview. And there was a long interview process at this particular community college in Michigan. First I had to meet with a group of students. And they all thought it was great, having a guy who's just out of his 20s be the vice president of the school. And I was cool. They liked that. Then I had to be interviewed by the faculty, and the faculty all thought that I was terrific. Then I went to the administration. And the administrators weren't quite sure about whether they wanted some young upstart to be coming in there, and so you had to get 3 out of 3. Well, I got 2 out of 3. I got the faculty and the student vote, but the administration vote wasn't. And it got down to myself and another man whose last name is Cunningham. It was going on for months, and it came down to 2 people. And I didn't get it. And he did. And at the time that happened, I was really kind of surprised. But there was a part of me that was relieved, because I kept thinking, I'm going to have to go to committee meetings. I'm going to have to put on a tie and a suit. And I'm going to have to go in there every day. And even though I was going to be making 3 times as much money, and I was going to have all of this sort of prestige thing over here, what I really wanted to be doing over here was going to have to be put aside in the name of these ego things. And I thought what I wanted was these things that my ego was telling me. But somehow the divine intelligence knew better. And I came in second. And as a result, I went and applied for a job at a university in New York, doing what I loved doing, teaching and having my own practice. And the rest of the story is the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. And so, when you think that it's supposed to be working and it doesn't work, and you say, yes, but it's not working, perhaps there's something else that's working, that's going on, that you may not even have any awareness about. And you have to understand that. That every fall of your life, that everything that is supposed to show up, that you think is supposed to show up and doesn't on this time, but there's perfect timing in the universe because this divine intelligence is in all things. And it attracts to you exactly what it is supposed to at that time. Even the things that you just don't quite understand or don't seem right.